In 1968, Sunoco Gas put out a series of aluminum collector coins, tokens, to commemorate classic automobiles. If you are following along, this is the third video in the series that I've done. Two others so far are the Detroit Electric Car and the Stutz Bearcat. The token here shows a 1903 model of the Stanley steamer. How about we look at a short history of the Stanley steamer? The Stanley Motor Carriage Company was manufacturer of steam engine vehicles. It was in operation from 1902 through 1924. Francis E. Stanley and Freeland O. Stanley founded the company after selling their photographic dry plate business to Eastman Kodak. They produced their first car in 1897, and during 1898 and 1899, they produced and sold over 200 cars, more than any other American maker. Interestingly, in 1899, Freeland and his wife Flora drove one of their cars to the top of Mount Washington in New Hampshire, the highest peak in the northeastern United States. That ascent took more than 2 hours and was noticeable as being the first time a car had climbed the 7.6-mile-long Mount Washington Carriage Road. The descent was accomplished by putting the engine in low gear and braking extensively. The Stanleys later sold the rights to this early design to the Locomobile, and in 1902 they formed the Stanley Motor Carriage Company. And yes, friends, there really was a car called the Locomobile, and we'll look at that another time. The Stanley brothers, to overcome patent difficulties with the design that they had sold to Locomobile, developed a new automobile with twin-cylinder engines geared directly to the back axle. Later models had aluminum coachworks that resembled internal combustion cars of the time, but retained the many steam car features, such as no transmission clutch or drive shaft. They also had a fully sprung tubular steel frame. When they later shifted the steam boiler to the front of the vehicle, the resulting feature was called by owners as the coffin nose. The compact engine ran at considerable steam pressure, with the 10-horsepower boiler described in 1912 as having the safety valve set at 650 pounds, with the burner set to automatically cut back when pressure reached 500 pounds. The twin-cylinder steam engine were at the time 10 horsepower with 3.25-inch bore and 4.25-inch stroke. A Stanley steamer set the world record for the fastest mile in an automobile, 28.2 seconds in 1906. The record went unbroken until 1911. In 1917, production rose to 500 cars. The Stanley steamer was often called the Flying Teapot. Widespread use of electric starters in internal combustion cars shortly in 1912 eroded the greatest remaining technological advantages of the steam car. A lack of effective advertising and general public desire for higher speeds and less fussy starting than were possible with the Stanley technology were the primary causes of the company's demise, and the factory closed for good in 1924. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief look back at a time at a true classic. While you're here, why not take a half a second to tick the subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single new program here on the Dennis Morrison channel. Thanks for stopping by. God bless, and have a great evening.